Are you someone that has heard all the things intermittent fasting, but you're still a little bit confused whether or not it's right for you? And if it is right for you, how to even do it and why you should be doing it? Well, if that is the case, then please stay tuned and watch this video because we are talking everything intermittent fasting. Okay, so today is really exciting because it's going to be the first video of a series on intermittent fasting. For those of you that have followed me for a while, you know that I did a video about 3 years ago that was explaining all things intermittent fasting. It was a very long video, and it was actually a video done before I ever even attempted intermittent fasting. So I thought I would do a fresh, new video series that breaks it down and is much easier to follow, and more so for the beginners out there. If you are someone that is looking to jazz up your health this year and you want to be a fat burning machine, you want to sculpt that body, you want to have cognitive benefits, you want to have the whole thing, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your goals are. And so I am excited to speak with more knowledge today on this topic because I've been living this intermittent fasting technique for about 3 years now. So I'm excited to start with this first video on the reasons why you should be doing it and what it really is and the benefits of intermittent fasting. So, and many of you know that before I started this, I was someone who ate 6 meals a day, sometimes even 7. I was hungry all throughout the day. I've always been athletic. I've always exercised. However, totally ravenous, never felt like I was able to fulfill my cravings, hungry all the time, and lethargic throughout the day, feeling like I needed naps. So I am here to tell you everything has changed ever since I started doing intermittent fasting. And, we'll get into down the road the people that should not be doing intermittent fasting, how we go from 7 days a week down to less, and we switch up the plan. But for those of you that are newbies, I am so excited you are here. Make sure that you click the subscribe button if you have not already to get more educational videos like this one, free home workouts that require minimal equipment, and just all things health and wellness. So intermittent fasting is an eating technique. It is not a diet. A lot of people think that it falls into the same category as paleo and keto and gluten-free and things like that. Those are diets because they are restricting you from something. They are not allowing you to have something. Now, with intermittent fasting, the whole goal here is to minimize the opportunities that we spike insulin. Every single time we eat, we spike insulin. And so it's not just the people that are eating the bad foods, the high glycemic foods. And if you're not familiar with the glycemic index, I will link a video below in the comments. So we want to stick with healthy, low glycemic foods for the most part. But even when you consume food of any sort, the digestive process in itself, the digestive enzymes, do have somewhat of a spike of insulin that is required to digest. So if we're eating all throughout the day, then we're going to have those little spikes of insulin. When we are in the presence of insulin, we cannot burn fat efficiently. So the whole goal with intermittent fasting is to minimize the opportunities that we have spiking blood sugar and spiking insulin. And that's a whole different topic that you could still spike insulin even though you don't have much of a spike of blood sugar, but that's another video a different day. So again, the whole point here is so we can become fat burning machines because we're staying in that fat burning zone. When insulin and blood sugar are all regulated, we're in the fat burning zone as opposed to the fat storage zone. There's a lot of different contributors to it, which we'll explain a little bit more, but that's the gist of it, okay? So in terms of weight loss, fat loss is that. Obviously, we are restricting calories as well. Not every time. I mean, I myself don't do it for weight loss, so there is, and again, this will be a whole series. Today we're just doing an overview of the benefits and exactly what it is, but some people find that they just can't consume as many calories within, 2 to 3 meals in a day, as opposed to the people that were eating 7 times and they're eating over an 18-hour time span, as opposed to shortening our eating window. So you shorten the eating window, and that will be in the second video exactly how to do it. But we're pretty much doing a shorter 8-hour window. Some people do a different variation of it. So you might be consuming less calories. Obviously, if you are in a calorie deficit, you're going to burn fat. You're going to be, losing weight. So that's another way to look at it as well in terms of fat burning and weight loss. So the benefits, not just weight loss, we have an increase in our mood, our cognitive function. You guys, this is the number one reason that I do intermittent fasting. I feel like I can focus so much more with doing intermittent fasting than days that I'm grazing throughout the day. Before I started this, honestly, I felt the littlest things could set me off. The littlest things could get me depressed. The littlest things could knock me out of focus in terms of when I was doing any kind of meetings, Zoom meetings, any type of trainings. My focus would go from one thing to another in a hot second. And no one likes that feeling. I'm like, what in the world? Am I ADD or what is happening here? And the second that all my hormones got regulated, I started doing this, everything started falling into place. This was sharpened like I can't even explain to you. It's just amazing the mental clarity and sharpness that you gain from doing intermittent fasting. So the hormone balance, okay, increase in hormone receptor sensitivity. You guys, a lot of times we feel hungry throughout the day. We're like, oh my gosh, I just need food. I need food. Honestly, you don't realize how false this is and how out of sync your hormones are until they're in sync. Because let me tell you, you should not be hungry throughout the entire day. It is not what your body is meant to be feeling. You got to think about back in the day. Do you think that our ancestors were eating and grazing all throughout the day? No, they ate food when they found food, when they were able to hunt food. And that's it. And they managed to get it done. So leptin is our hormone that allows us to feel full. Ghrelin is our hormone that makes us feel hungry. So a lot of times these are really out of whack. And insulin, like I said before, insulin is all out of whack, because for those of you that are watching this that don't know the whole science behind food, digestion, insulin, when we eat a food, let's say it's a high glycemic food, a bad food, spikes blood sugar very quickly. We eat a candy bar, spikes blood sugar quickly, which means the pancreas releases insulin to bring that blood sugar back down to baseline. We can't have, our blood sugar be high all day. So when insulin goes up because of the blood sugar going up, your blood sugar goes back down, but because it goes down quickly, then when you eat again, if you eat a bad food again, you have an up and down with the blood sugar. Your insulin doesn't have the same capability of getting back down to baseline as quickly as the blood sugar. So you eventually have more and more insulin shooting out from the pancreas to do the same job as it should have done if you were just a slow rise in your blood sugar. And again, I will link a video that explains this in the comments. So eventually we develop insulin resistance, elevated insulin, fat storage zone, okay? So we want to stay in a fat burning zone. We want to keep insulin lower and very controlled. And a way of doing that, like I said before, with minimizing the opportunities to spike insulin, that is one way we're doing it. So we're getting insulin in check to stay in the fat burning zone. We are getting our leptin and our ghrelin, hunger hormones, in check, so we're not hungry throughout the day unless we really truly need food for fuel. And everything works in sync, and you just feel like you feel amazing. Honestly, so many of my clients are so terrified to start this whole process. And once they do, after like a few weeks even, they are blown away and they're wondering why they didn't start this process sooner. So, increase in human growth hormone. So, human growth hormone is not only an injectable anabolic steroid that bodybuilders take. We are all born with human growth hormone, okay? So, when you're young, sky high, right? That's why little kids can do all the things. They're wrinkle free, they're agile, they can just do all the things because human growth hormone, sky high. Now, as we get older, as we age, multiple things taking into consideration there, but it goes down as we get older. So we got to do things that can elevate and increase human growth hormone naturally. And this is one major way to do it. So when you are a woman and you do intermittent fasting in the correct way, you can increase your human growth hormone 1,300%. And in men, 2,000%. It is incredible. The benefits to human growth hormone, I have stated down here, supports bone density, maintain muscle gain and muscle mass. So that's a biggie when it comes to people like myself that want to maintain muscle mass. I'm not trying to do intermittent fasting to lose weight and be a scrawny little, twig. I want to stay nice and strong. And that's why some bodybuilders actually do intermittent fasting, because they're able to eat a lot of calories in one sitting. I'm able to gain or to consume enough calories throughout the day within 2 to 3 meals to maintain my muscle mass. But regardless, even when you are in a calorie deficit, it's okay. And if you're in a protein, if you're used to consuming 200 grams of protein, if you consume, let's say, 160 grams or 150 grams on this, doing intermittent fasting, it all balances out because your human growth hormones increase as you're doing this. So it's different if you're consuming a less amount of calories, a less amount of protein, eating all throughout the day, because you're not having that increase in human growth hormone. So really it balances out, and it's amazing how that does allow you to preserve your muscle mass and gain muscle mass. Regulates blood sugar. So we already discussed that with, having that balanced blood sugar instead of that quick up and down. So it's very good. This in combination with eating a low glycemic nutrition is a deadly combination. It's amazing. And yes, the other thing that you can add into there is keto along with this. I'm not a keto advocate because I don't think it's maintainable. So that's why I preach low glycemic nutrition, because I feel that's a more manageable, maintainable, balanced approach. And that's what we are here. We're Healthy Life Balance. And better sleep, you guys. Better sleep is crucial. If you are not getting proper amount of sleep, I'm talking 7 to 8 hours, then your weight loss goals and your overall health goals are going to really struggle. So I urge you to do everything in your power to get a good night's rest. And this is one way to increase and improve your sleep. And then the last thing, I didn't cover everything with human growth hormone, but one of the major things, improving your immune health. Huge, especially with this COVID and everything. So I tell you what, we're going to just end right there. Please drop in the comments any questions that you have, any suggestions that you have for topics pertaining to intermittent fasting. I will do my best to create videos for you. But like I said, it's going to be a series, so please subscribe, share these videos if you feel others would benefit from them. And again, thank you for your support, and we will talk very soon.